Bonafide Hustler here. I'm outside of a thrift store and I've already found some really cool items today. Let's get this vlog started. What's going on, guys and gals? Chris the Bonafide Hustler coming to you live from the inside of my spaceship. And I went thrifting earlier today and I found some really cool items. I want to share that with you. You can find me on Instagram at the Bonafide Hustler, and you can also get the free guide that'll teach you 50 items that you can buy and resell from thrift stores and garage sales. It's the first link down below, and it's free. I already said that. Oh man, these items are super dope. Just got done with that Goodwill over there, and this is what I bought for $20.49. Another mirror. I'm telling you, this stuff does really well in my antique booths, especially these ornate type ones right here. So this one's white. It's got a little, you know, weird finish to it here and there. I think it's more current day, but it doesn't matter. We got to get these price tags off. Do I look like Castaway? Do I? I probably do. Look at this. This is super Castaway. Either that or maybe Encino Man. Let me know down below right now. Scrapey. Let's get this crap off. I'm gonna list this thing for basically $100. So by the time I get paid, I'll get like $90. So nothing crazy. Man, do y'all's vehicles have these little pieces of tags everywhere and stuff like that? I have to put it somewhere where I know I can throw it away later. Right there. That's where you're going, tag. Wait till you see what I popped on at a Goodwill. Oh my gosh, like just 20 minutes ago. Crazy. You're gonna flip out. Before we get to the really good stuff, I did go to a Goodwill before that Goodwill, and I found these free riders immediately upon walking in. I think they're like size 9.5 women's. Obviously with that colorway of black and pink, they're probably women's anyway. These are $9.49. These should sell for 50 plus all day. And this is called the Free Rider. It is basically the world's best mountain biking shoe. Has Stealth C4 rubber underneath, the same kind of rubber I think they use on a lot of their like rock climbing shoes. But anyway, 510 Free Rider. They don't last very long when I have them, that's for sure. Got a dog water bowl for my little critter that's at the house right now. Here is the crazy stuff. I'm reaching for something cool. And when I was at a Goodwill 20 minutes ago, just going through, and I go to the bins, you know, there's obviously like a couple bins out, which are the freshest items from the back of the store. Then I noticed a lot of video games in the bins that had a lot of green sleeves and stuff, so I'm like, all right, these are Xbox 360 games, nothing crazy, and you know, 5% of Xbox 360 games are really worth my time. So I saw a bunch of those, and then there were a bunch of GameCube games. Now, GameCube games, that's a different story. It's almost like 80% of those things are super profitable and amazing. But these weren't just any old GameCube games. Now, one obviously is like the one that everyone, if you've touched this game or resold it at any point in your career, it sells pretty fast. At one point, this thing was like ranked super low on Amazon, and it would sell in a day on FBA. But what do we have here? GameCube game number 1, Beyond Good and Evil. This is good. I can't remember what these things are reselling for now. All I know is I popped on it if it was looking like it was anything like $40 or above. Each game that I'm showing you was $5.29. So we have this one, Beyond Good and Evil. Great condition. Here's the one that was just such a hit on Amazon FBA. This one would just sell so fast when I would get it anytime. I've probably resold this game now 15, maybe 20 times. Smash Brothers Melee, good condition. I think it's missing the insert though, but who cares? $5.29, should sell for like 50 or so. And then we have this one called Batten Kaitos, I want to say. Yeah, Batten Kaitos. And this one's actually selling for pretty good money. This is a 2-disc set, I think, in here. There's like a 1 and a 2 in here. But this one I think is up there in like the 60 to 80 range. And then we have Metroid Prime. This is like 40, I want to say, maybe 50 on eBay. I could send this stuff in for FBA, but since I've last sent games into FBA, I think I'm gated now in GameCube stuff. I'm not sure. I have to look at that. And then the big winner right here is Batten Kaitos Origins. Sealed. It looks to be really sealed, like from factory sealed. And that's the only part that I'm trying to determine if that's the real deal. Feels nice and heavy, so we know all the stuff's in there. But yeah, this was $5.29. Now this game, used, is already like $170 to $200. But new, that's a different story. What would you think it would sell for new? Comment down below. All right, it's the next day, and one of those video games sold for 60 bucks already. Forget the name of it, but I'll put it right here. Someone's coming up behind me, probably with a truck, and we're gonna be selling some bikes. I think multiple bikes. This guy contacted me this morning and said, hey, I see that you have a lot of bikes, and I'm opening up a bike shop in a town nearby, so I think he's gonna buy a bunch of bikes from me. Who knows? He definitely brought the truck, so that's good. So I think this guy's buying about 6 of my bikes, something like that. I'm like losing count, so I'll update you guys here in a second. All right, so I just sold, I think it was like 6 of my bikes. 2 handlebars, 2 stems, and a box of those little bike bags for 600 bucks. Literally $600 right here. Wow, I didn't expect that this morning whatsoever. So that was a good flip. I tried to get him to, buy more and more things, because as a bike reseller myself, I've come across so many parts and things, but I think I eked out pretty good. He's starting a bike shop in a nearby town, and this is going to be his first round of kind of inventory to fix and resell. So I sold him I sold him all of the bikes that I had that needed some work that I wasn't willing to get into, right? With the exception of one bike that was like near perfect, but whatever. They were just like the lower tier bikes that I had, right? I showed him my mid-tier bikes and I showed him my high tier bikes, and he popped on all the lower tier. He cleaned me out completely on my lower tier. That was pretty neat. Now I gotta clean all this crap up. But hey, you can't be mad when you have $600 cash infusion randomly. That's pretty fun. So you might be thinking, like, how much was I into that entire deal? I sell 6 bikes. I did the calculation. I'm actually 95 bucks into those 6 bikes that sold. I mean, the guy paid me 600 bucks. And let's say, obviously there's the time to go fetch them and the gas. So let's say that's another, I don't know, 30 or 40 bucks. I picked all those bikes up with my small car, which is completely depreciated down to the floor now. And that's good, and it gets really high MPG. So, 40 bucks in gas, something like that, maybe even less. But, for around 120 bucks, if I look at this transaction for what it is, it's like buying a $120 bike and selling it for 600 bucks, which is good. Now, he bought a bunch of little bike bags and little trinkets and little random stuff, and those are all pull-offs and stuff from other bikes that I have flipped that literally have no inherent value to me whatsoever. They're basically free. Those things went to him as well. So that's pretty good. Not a bad deal. That's kind of the way I look at it. It's a one and done punch, which is cool. So instead of dealing with 6 customers, I dealt with 1 customer. And it's time to repeat that process all over again. So I'm gonna go pick up a $20 bike that I just made an offer on, or I didn't make an offer on it. I snagged the listing within like 13 minutes. So it looks like I'm the first person up for this electric cruiser bike. That's 20 bucks. Probably needs air in the tires, little couple rusty spots, a little sanded down, nothing crazy. I'm gonna go pick it up right now. Let's go get it. Later on today, I'm also going to sell a dirt bike that I was kind of gifted many years ago, and part of that dirt bike deal includes a partial trade for some other bikes too, which is kind of cool. So there's like cash involved with 2 bikes that are kind of high end. I can't wait to get my hands on them. The cash is cool, don't get me wrong, but flipping higher end bikes is kind of fun. Just going to pick up this electric bike. Man, no real direction is given to me, so got to find this 3209 apartment. Oh man, just like twirling around like nobody's business looking for this thing. I'll find it. Ooh, I'm getting close. Ooh, it's right here. I see it. There's the bike right there with the lady. All right, here we go. Cool. Let's go. Let's go. That's a pretty cool bike. It was 20 bucks. It's a 3-speed hub on it, which is kind of nice. It's an Electra Hawaii, but it's the, I guess, first gen Electra Hawaii. They've since made them look really cool now, but this is a really beautiful bike. White wall tires, great condition. She says it needs air in the tires, which I don't doubt that. And the seat has a couple nicks, but it's nothing crazy. I do think this bike can sell for around 150 to 200 as the weather gets better, for sure. When you're dealing with Electra bikes, the single speed ones, they're desirable for sure, but a lot of the good ones come with like a Nexus 3-speed hub, or perhaps a SRAM like 3-speed drivetrain. And that's really where you want to, that's really where the money is. It's in the 3-speed ones, maybe a 7-speed, like, you know, Townie, or even the 21-speed Townies. Like, when you're dealing with cruiser bikes, having a minimum of 3 speeds is very desirable. Now, there are exceptions, of course, because these cruiser bike brands like Felt, Electra, Nerve make really cool themed single-speed cruisers, like beach cruisers, and they're very desirable, super collectible, and you know, so I should put that as like a remember this part 2. But as a general rule, people do prefer to have gears on their cruiser bikes, unless it's a super collectible themed cruiser bike, and in which case that doesn't matter anymore. So I'm back at the casa, and I actually did sell the motorcycle, the dirt bike, bill of sale included, all that kind of stuff. And the guy did bring me 2 bikes. He was supposed to bring me 3, but the last one was a kid's bike, so it's not like a huge deal. He didn't bring me that one. Here are the 2 bikes that were part of the trade right here. So this one's pretty cool. It's an R1000 Optimo. The frame alone of this bike, typically you can sell on eBay for around 600 or so, but this is a complete bike with full Ultegra. Right, we have full Ultegra there, Ultegra. It's basically the trim of Shimano's road biking stuff back in the day, and there was only one trim better than this. It was called Dura Ace. So yeah, the whole thing is Ultegra, as you can see. Pretty nice bike, very rare color scheme, highly desirable. So once I kind of mess with this thing, I'm going to put some air in the tires today and try to get some of that rust off the chain. I'll probably list it, more than likely, for over a G, just to see if it can get some interest. Plus it also has the Slice Ultra Carbon front fork, which is neat. So you can hear it, and here's aluminum. Hear the difference? So yeah, carbon fork, super desirable. No marks of crashing anywhere on the sides or on the pedals, so that's a really good sign. I checked it for dings, no dings. So this is a pretty rare bike, actually. And someone that wants to mess with it is certainly going to love it. It's a great frame size too. It's a 58, which, you know, if you're selling road bikes, 56s and 58s are just, they go pretty quick. The other bike is very interesting. This is a vintage Klein Attitude Comp. Now, it's a pity that this is only one color, because usually the Attitude Comps that are purple, pink, or a combination of green, white, and pink sell for big money on eBay, big money. But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing shook out somewhere between $500 and $1,000, because it is a pretty awesome bike. Internal cable routing for back then, which is unheard of. But yeah, made in the USA, beautiful bike, standard components, Bontrager components here, here, here. That's a good sign. The original fork is right there, the SXR. Then we have Dior XT on the drivetrain right here. And back then, everyone wanted Dior XT or XTR. XTR was like the racing stuff. XT was basically above mid-grade, to me at least. There's a lot of weird stuff on this, like bike computer stuff. I'm going to have to cut all that stuff off. Obviously, I'm going to get this out of here. Same with that other bike. There's a bike computer and a bunch of random stuff that doesn't belong on there. It's going to end up causing a pretty distracting picture. It's in my best interest to make sure that this bike, before they go up for sale, obviously, to really give it a good solid cleaning to make it look as badass as possible. You know, this is the first time I've ever had an Attitude Comp in my possession, and I've done a lot of research about this bike in the past 15 years, and they're hard to come by. They're very tough to come by, but they're becoming increasingly collectible. So I wouldn't be surprised if this can get to that $1,000 range, and that's not too bad. So the bike that I did sell to the person was a 2006 YZ450F or something like that, dirt bike. I'll flash a picture right here. I'm gonna find one on the internet, and that bike listed it for $2,500. I was having so many offers for $1,500, $1,500, $1,500, $1,600, $2,000, like, you know, and I took a $1,600 cash offer plus these 2 bikes. You think I made the right choice? Let me know down below. But it's nice to have some cool, fresh inventory that I can mess with. This is the kind of inventory that I really like messing with. Here's that $20 bike that I bought earlier today. Tires inflated just fine, no leaks, good condition, rides nice. Probably worth, I'll list it for about $150, $200. But yeah, it's an Electra Hawaii, And it's a really cool electric because it's the old logo. Steel frame, white walls. It's a beautiful bike. So those bikes are pretty cool. It's later on in the evening. I just checked my antique mall check, or I can look at what sells every night from the booth. And my check was, I think, $190 as of yesterday, right? So I checked last night and it was like $190. Something small had sold that was like $30. So the day before it was $160. Does it make sense? So like I sold something, it updates the sheet, $190. And I checked today and it went from $190 to $654. Now I haven't seen yet, what has sold, but I'm curious what did sell. So here we go. We're gonna take a look at this, and here it is. Let's see if we can focus this real quick here. I don't know if it'll focus, but I'll try to read it out to you. We have, so today alone, a deer mount sold. Wow. Whoa. Okay, so today a deer mount sold for $124.15. I think I'm $20 into that deer mount. So basically, it's a deer that's on a mount and has antlers and everything. Sold for $124. That was pretty cool. And then mirrors, but it says two of them, $379. Wait, and then mirrors. Two of them sold, netted me a check of $337.31. But it has no I don't know what mirrors sold, but my guess, it's the hexagonal ones from the other vlog. So if you look at the vlog before this, I think it's those crazy hexagonal ones. Yeah, I priced them really high and they sold already a week later, like 9 days later. Wow. Yeah, because it was like a pair and they were kind of like gold on the outside. Really unique. I picked those up for $60, I want to say. So that's not bad, turning 60 into $337. It's kind of cool to have an antique booth because it allows me to really continue the hustle and the hunt into like the older, larger items. And, on that last vlog, I said that mirrors have been selling crazy in my booth. And there you go. There's another example of that. But I like the antique booth because it allows me to really have that thrill of the hunt. And I can still put things in the booth. I can cross-list things to eBay. I can even have it locally listed and still have it at the booth. So there's all kinds of crazy ways that I can do things. But it is cool to have an antique booth. But I feel that when I say that, it's a little biased because the one that I'm in, the antique mall that I'm in, is a very good antique mall. And of course, Austin is just booming right now. It's like a boom town. So there's always people coming in. They always want to make their houses look like super unique. And they go to those antique malls to find really one-of-a-kind type things to decorate their houses with. It's no surprise why 2 mirrors sold like that. That was pretty awesome. Sitting here editing this video, and I'm trying to cut it down, and it's like 26 minutes long. So I'm gonna half it up. I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna slice it down the middle and deliver the first 13 minutes to you guys right now, or I guess 17 minutes, and then I have other things I want to show on the next vlog, and my cat's meowing. So yeah, it's ending abruptly, but stay tuned for part 2. It's pretty cool. I do pick up something pretty large in my SUV. The entire vlog's done, but yeah, you'll see. Take it easy. Goodbye.